Yo, what's up, guys? What a day it's been for AC Milan. But let's start talking about the transfer that no one saw coming. Milan have signed Christopher Nkunku from Chelsea on a permanent deal for 38 million euros, guys, plus 5 million in hard bonuses, guys. Chelsea will have a 10% resale clause, and Nkunku will sign a deal, 5-year contract, guys. Incredible, guys, to see that this deal has been finalized for Christopher Nkunku. I cannot believe, and I think a lot of us Milan fans feel this way, that Milan have spent almost 40 million euros on this player. Now, this player here is a very nice player, okay? Nkunku, he's 27 years old. That's the first question mark I have about this deal. He's a little bit older than what Milan's management usually target. That's the first question mark. Now, the thing I like about this deal is, obviously, I'm going to go back to his time at Red Bull Leipzig. Of course, when he was at Red Bull Leipzig, guys, this guy was an absolute menace in the German league. Of course, in 59 games in the Bundesliga, guys, this guy had 36 goals and 17 assists. He was an absolute monster for those 2 years in Germany when he moved from PSG to Leipzig. Then obviously we know about the history with Chelsea. This guy's only played 38 matches in 2 years, only played 11 games in his first season at Chelsea, and then he only played 27 last year, only scoring 3 goals in both years. Now, that's another question mark on top of it, is the injury history. Now, we know that Nkunku, he's had a long-term knee issue. He was out for 4 months at one point in his first year at Chelsea. He had an injury with Leipzig with the knee issue as well. He's had hamstring injuries. This guy here has had a plethora of injuries in the past, and this is why us Milan fans are probably scratching our head a bit. It's like, why are you taking such a risky move and spending all this money on a player who has just as big as an injury history as Victor Boniface, and you're only signing that man on a loan? So that is a big question mark why this management has finally decided to splash some big money on a forward. But this player in particular is a bit confusing because one is, where's Nkunku going to fit in the formation? Now, he's obviously a versatile player. Of course, he can play as a trequartista, he can play a striker, a winger. So he is versatile. It's going to be up to Allegri to figure out where to place this player. But my other question is, on top of it, is that if Milan's management was willing to spend over 40 million euros on a player, why wasn't it not on Giovanni Leone, an Italian center back at 18 years old, who's going to probably be playing on the national team for the next 10 to 15 years? Why weren't you willing to spend that kind of money on that talent, but you're willing to spend it on a 27-year-old with a big injury history who has the talent, but we don't know if he can stay on the field and be healthy? That is the biggest question mark I have regarding this transfer. Now, do I like Nkunku as a player? Absolutely. He brings pace. He brings skill. He's a great facilitator. I'm sure a guy like Jimenez would thrive under him. Leao. These guys would thrive under a player like this if he stays on the field. So now I'm very curious to see how this player does at Milan, guys. Milan have made a massive investment on this player. But Nkunku as well has made a sacrifice. This guy was making 12 million a year at Chelsea, and he has taken a 7 million euro pay cut and is only going to make 5 million at Milan. So he wanted to get the hell out of Chelsea. He wants to play clearly. Sounds like he's healthy, so that's fantastic to hear as well. But the question mark will be, can he stay healthy? Where is he going to play? And on top of it all, why did Milan's management decide to spend all this money on this specific player? Now, we obviously know that this probably means no Dusan Vlahovic, of course. Juve's director Comoli came out and stated that Vlahovic is 99% going to be staying at Juventus this season. So, if you guys ask me, wrap it up now. I don't think we're going to get Vlahovic now. But if you ask me, I think Vlahovic is stupid because, you know, Milan have been wanting him all summer. Juve got Jonathan David on a free. They are possibly buying Randall Colomowani for 60 million euros. So Vlahovic might be a third option at Juventus, making 12 million wages. Guys, it's absolutely insane to me that this guy here rather sit on the bench at Juve as a third option, making 12 million a year, than come to Milan and start and possibly get this team back to Champions League and competing for a title maybe, even though we lost the Cremonese the way we did. So Vlahovic looks like he's out of reach now. Milan have bought in Nkunku now. He's going to arrive in Milan tonight, medical tomorrow, and signing the contract. Hopefully there's no issues like Boniface. Hopefully this player is healthy and ready to go, guys. But I am very excited to see what this player can bring to the table, because if he gets anywhere near the form that he had at Red Bull Leipzig, guys, this is an absolute steal at 40 million. But if this guy here is on the bench all the time injured, then us fans are going to be freaking out at this management. Why did you spend all that bloody money on this player when you knew he was injury prone and at 27 years old, when you could have bought way different targets and spent it on money on certain players like even Kamutso, Leone, like I mentioned, so many different options that this money could have been put towards. But if Nkunku pans out, guys, it is a great bit of business by Milan, but we will have to wait and see how this deal pans out for the club. But I'm excited about the deal, but I'm also a little bit skeptical about the deal. But let's see how it goes, guys. I hope Nkunku does great at Milan. I will do nothing but support this player now that he's going to be wearing the colors of the red and black of AC Milan. So I hope this player does nothing but the best for this club. Now, some other news regarding AC Milan, and it is absolutely horrendous news, guys. The first bloody thing I wake up to this morning, other than the Nkunku deal, I find out Arjun Jashari has fractured his leg, guys, with a collision with Santiago Jimenez, and Jashari is out for possibly up to 3 months. It's like, what a bloody disaster this first 2 weeks of the season has been. We got Lecce tomorrow, and now we lose out on our 40 million euro signing that we negotiated a month and a half for, and now he's out till probably Christmas. I bet you Club Brugge are laughing at us now. It is absolutely painful. I am sick to my stomach that we do not get to watch this player now for 3 bloody months after we watched this negotiation drag on for as long as it did, and now we lose this player, man. It's just so unfortunate. And Santiago Jimenez, this guy here has had a horrendous 7.5 months at this club. I cannot believe this player. Like, I don't blame him for the injury, but what the hell did you do to get this guy a fractured leg? For Christ's sakes, how hard did you hit this player? Like, God almighty, like, I wish he was a little bit more careful. I understand it's training, and you got to work your hardest to all levels, especially the way they lost to Cremonese. But for Christ's sakes, man, to lose this kid the way we just did, an inflicted blow by your own teammate, it's just a gut punch to this club. He was going to probably start tomorrow, and now we could possibly see the same 11 we saw against Cremonese. If I swear to God, Allegri better not do that. He better play Ricci tomorrow, because if he doesn't, he's already rubbing me the wrong way 2 weeks into the bloody season. If he does not start Samuel Ricci over either Fofana or Cheek. I swear to God, man, this has just been a disastrous start to the season. Jimenez is the only striker we got right now, so he's going to guarantee play tomorrow. He better produce, or else he's going to get hammered tomorrow if he doesn't have a big game. Because of hindering Jashari, the way he played against Cremonese, if he doesn't play well against Lecce tomorrow, man, oh man, I don't know how much longer this guy's going to last at AC Milan, guys. But just disgusting news to hear regarding Jashari. I wish him nothing but a speedy recovery, but I do not expect to see this man until Christmas time. So losing him is a major blow for this club. Us playing once a week is obviously a bit of a blessing because of this injury now. Obviously, I wish we were playing in the Champions League. Of course, the draw was today. I wish Milan were in the draw. But with this injury now, you clearly see why Milan not playing in Europe. This is a bit of a benefit now, but this just absolutely sucks to be losing Jashari now, guys. And who knows, does Milan sell Musa to Atalanta? There's been negotiations for 25 million for Musa. Obviously, there's been talk of Adrian Rabiot. So if Rabiot doesn't come to Milan, does Milan keep Musa? Or do they reinstate Benacer or Adli? A lot of question marks now with Jashari injured now for the next 3 months, guys. Milan have to decide what they're going to do in the midfield now with that last piece of the puzzle in the midfield. Do you sell Musa? Do you keep him? Do you keep Benacer? Do you keep Adli? A lot of question marks regarding that midfield now, guys, with Jashari out now for 3 months. But also some transfer news regarding the defense. We've been hearing that Iglitare really likes Kim Min-jae from Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich turned down his offer, of course, his request. So looks like Milan have turned their attention to Manuel Akanji from Manchester City. And if you guys ask me, Manuel Akanji is the player Milan absolutely must go for. You need to go and get this player. Champions League winner, Premier League winner, has a lot of experience, Swiss international, probably knows Jashari well, even though he's going to be out now. Akanji would be an absolute perfect addition to Milan's defense, guys. He gives us way more stability. especially after what we saw against Cremonese, guys. If you bring in Akanji, you can maybe play him and De Winter together. You can maybe play De Winter, Akanji, Gabbia together in a back three instead of Fick and Pavlovic back there. I think that would sound a lot more steady on top of it, guys. So I think Akanji is the only option that Milan should be looking at regarding the center back position. There should be no other options that Milan are looking at. Get the deal done. Manchester City won 15 million euros for this player. That is a great bit of business, not expensive at all. Get the deal done. Milan are looking into it about his wages and everything else. I think if they don't get this deal done, it is malpractice by the club. Go get Manuel Akanji done. I think it would be a great deal by AC Milan. Now, another defender that will not be called up for Lecce is Alex Jimenez. Now, from what I'm reading, Alex Jimenez has been appearing to training late once or twice. That's not good. Obviously, ran his mouth, got a yellow card last game. He could possibly be going to Como. Some teams in England are interested in him. Now, I like the player. I would not let him go. But if Allegri wants to let him go because he could be playing players in other positions, like maybe Salamaker's at right back, Athakami at right back, maybe De Winter or Fick at right back. So maybe he feels like he's a surplus to requirements. Maybe he could, but I could even think Jimenez could play at left back, guys, because only there's a Stupi in there, and then you got Bartasaghi, who's young. But if Allegri wants to play Bartasaghi, go right ahead. I'm all for playing the young Italian players, guys. But if Jimenez leaves, that's another defender out the door, guys. A lot of movement going on in the window right now for Milan, guys. The window ends on Sunday. We'll see what happens, guys, with the last few days in the window. But things have been very interesting today, of course, guys. Nkunku's coming to Milan. Jashari's gone for the long term. And we'll see if Milan makes additions to the attack, guys. Instead of Nkunku, if they get somebody else, maybe Bovdik from Roma on loan. Gasparini said that he doesn't need him. Roma put him on the market. So let's see if Bovdik comes to Milan on a loan, possibly. I think that would be a good deal, guys, on a loan for Bovdik after Roma spent 40 million on this player last summer, guys. But let's see what happens, guys. Even Chukwueze, even possibly to Fulham. A lot of movement going on. Things should be interesting in these last few days of the market. But, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Milan sempre, as always, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.